Hey, what's going on, guys? Indy here with Ultimate 2 Reviews, taking a look at a nice compact electric pressure washer. Now, when you think of pressure washers, I like to think of there's at least three different levels of pressure washers. You've got basically your entry level, kind of like this YerYork pressure washer. You've got kind of maybe the high-end electric ones, which are going to run you a lot of money. And then you've got a lot of the gas ones, which for the most part, a lot of the gas ones are going to be, a phenomenal pressure washer. Of course, there's different quality of pressure washers you can buy in gas and electric, but the budget kind of compact pressure washers are really, kind of stealing a lot of, I guess, presence away from the gas ones here really quick, simply because they use just electric. You don't need to worry about, changing the oil or anything else there with, adding gas. You just plug these things in, plug them into water, and you go. So that's always fun. Let's see here. On the front, it's claiming that it's foam cannon. Does it have a built-in foam cannon on that, or can it use a foam cannon? That's kind of going to be my question, is can we actually use a foam cannon here? All right, we got the instruction manual, a couple of screws in there, a couple extra seals. It's always nice to see that. All right, we got all of the wheels. Nice chunky wheels on here. That's pretty nice to see. Let's see what else we've got in here. A bit of assembly required. Oh, is this actually a built-in foam cannon we got here? That would be interesting to try that out. Because, for the price of this thing, you're looking at, $40 or so for a cheaper foam cannon. Could you just buy this and kind of get away with that? That's kind of my question, really. All right, some nice high-pressure hose. Let's see here. We got the spray gun. A couple other pieces in the box here. A couple of those. And here is the nozzles as well too. All right, let's get all this stuff unboxed, and bam, we are all set up. There we go. So simple on-off switch here, on-off. I don't know what the 1 and the 0 is on there. That's kind of funny. But anyways, your water inlet is right here. That's where you put your garden hose. Super easy functionality there. I do like this kind of wand thing here where it's got your multiple tips going onto the wand itself, not on the pressure washer. Because if you're not pressure washing, you're not going like this, you're spraying around, you're like, oh, I want to switch another wand. It's right there in front of your face. I kind of like that actually a lot. Something I haven't really seen too much in really any other brands. Overall, the wand itself seems pretty decent quality. Seems like a pretty decent price for what you're paying for it. Not a bad deal there. You get a nice little, I think this is the wand. Yeah, it's the only downside of this thing is these things kind of come out pretty easily. I wish they kind of snapped in with a little bit more force would be nice there. But you do have a thing on the back here. Of course, you can wrap up your power cord would go there, and then your other cord would go here. So it's kind of all nice and self-contained. That's pretty sweet. Now, the real test here is let's test the performance of this thing here. And I don't know about this foam cannon, but you know what? I'm going to give this thing a shot. It says, is there a max PSI on this? No, there is not. All right. So let's give this thing a shot here. See how well it does. Man, this thing is lightweight. This is like one of the most portable pressure washers I have seen to date. I will give it that, definitely. As long as this thing performs nicely, this thing is definitely going to have the approval for me because, man, you can hide this thing I can almost fit this thing in the bottom drawer of one of my tool chests. That's kind of cool. This thing is super compact. All right, so what we're going to do, guys, here today is I want to clean up this table. I absolutely love these tables. They are phenomenal. So I just want to pressure wash off the top of this thing. It's getting pretty dirty now. I've wiped it off a couple of times, but I feel like I probably need to use a pressure washer on this thing. And we'll test out this foam cannon with some sea foam. Let's get to it. No, sorry. No, not sea foam, snow foam. Don't use sea foam in this. Use snow foam. So we're going to use a little bit of that in there, see how well this thing works. Okay, nice. Not the best quality foam cannon, but hey, if it works, it works. And I got a nice foam cannon. They work great, but they're not cheap. That's going to be your downside, definitely, for foam cannons. But they do make washing a vehicle really nice. And this snow foam stuff, this stuff works awesome. It really makes your vehicles look really shiny. I've loved this stuff for a while. Costco's actually got it right now. I think it's like $12 a bottle. I grabbed a few bottles of it already because that is a sweet deal for some snow foam. All right, ready to rock and roll. I've got one of those extension cord reels in the garage. I think it's so handy to have. Got the water supply hooked up here, and the water supply is actually in the back. Sorry, I pointed to the, earlier in the video, I pointed to the front of it, which is actually going to be your outlet to the water pressure gun there. So that's actually going to be in the front. In the back, you have where the water line goes for your garden hose. So let's hook up the snow foam cannon here to this thing, see how well this thing works, and see how well this thing cleans. Let's give it a shot. Okay, so to hook up the cannon, you're gonna have to remove this part of it. It's gonna be like a plastic inlet piece there, and it's kind of got this really long, like it goes in, it pushes in, and then it goes like that. So I need to add some water to this first actually, but that's pretty much how it works though. Pretty simple. And then of course you can just take this off separately. We'll get some water added to this, no problem. Okay, we are all set here. Snow foam is mixed in with some water. Let's get this thing turned on. There we go. Wow, this thing actually works pretty decent. Let me grab something a little bit darker so you can see the foam a little bit easier here. Yeah, that's not the best foam, but pretty decent foam for this little foam cannon here. That's pretty sweet. All right, and this thing's actually pretty nice and a little quick change here. So you would push in. So push in and just pop it out. We're gonna go right to spraying this thing off. Just like that. And let's do a 25-degree angle on here. We're gonna use the green one because we don't need to really blast anything off. That's too crazy on the end of this thing. I need a bit more power here. Let's go down to, let's go to the red here. I really want to see this thing at maximum velocity. Let's see how this thing works here. I mean, yeah, so at the end of the day, this thing actually does what it claims. That little foam cannon, actually quite surprised how well that little thing works. This thing is so simple, too. It's just a little two plastic pieces here. That thing works. Not the best foam, you know, but it still is foaming up the soap. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. Pick yourself up some snow foam, pick this thing up. I mean, you got this thing like permanently set up somewhere to kind of quick wash the cars or wash something in your backyard. This thing is ultra compact for a value-oriented pressure washer. I mean, man, that's pretty sweet with a snow cannon or a foam cannon built in, you know, kind of thing. That's honestly pretty awesome. I get where they're trying to go with this thing, you know, very value-oriented. Just make it work, you know, and honestly, pretty sweet little tool here. Definitely can say that this thing is pretty cool to check out. So guys, thanks for watching. I'll put a link in the description. You guys want to check us out on Amazon, and take care, guys. Have a great day.